Have you ever wondered what happens if a presidential nominee dies before the election? A curious question, isn't it? Picture this: a presidential election, a whirlwind of campaigns, speeches, and debates. Suddenly, a nominee passes away. What happens next? Surely the entire process doesn't just halt in its tracks. But what's the protocol? What are the rules? And what about the voters? Intrigued? Let's unfold the mystery together. Imagine a presidential nominee dies unexpectedly before the election. What happens next? In this unforeseen circumstance, the primary responsibility of selecting a new nominee falls on the shoulders of the respective political party. The party's rules guide this process, rather than the Constitution or any federal law. The party's national committee members would convene to vote on a replacement. These committee members, numbering in the hundreds, are from all across the country, and their number varies from party to party. They are typically high-ranking party officials or prominent figures within the party. They would gather, deliberate, and eventually cast their votes for a new nominee. But the process is not as simple as it sounds. There are legal guidelines that the parties must adhere to. For instance, the death of a nominee close to the election could lead to complications with the ballots. In many states, the deadline to change the names on the ballots could have passed, meaning the late nominee's name would remain on the election day ballot. Also, there are potential complications related to the electors. These are the people who formally cast the votes that decide the presidency. They usually pledge to vote for their party's nominee, but if that person were to die, it's unclear how they should cast their vote. So, it's not as straightforward as one might think, is it? Let's quickly summarize what we've learned. When a presidential nominee passes away before an election, the process that follows is a complex one, intricately tied to the guidelines of the political party and the legal framework. The party's governing body, often called the National Committee, holds the power to select a new nominee. This isn't a quick decision, as it involves various party members from across the country. This process is dictated not only by party rules, but also by federal and state laws that govern when and how a candidate's name can be replaced on a ballot. It's a delicate balancing act between the party's interests, legal requirements, and the democratic process. While the death of a nominee is a rare and unfortunate event, it's comforting to know that there are procedures in place to ensure the election can proceed in a fair and orderly manner. So, next time someone asks you what happens if a presidential nominee dies before the election, you'll have the answer ready.